You know, I love Bill Maher's show Real Time over on HBO, but invariably when I'm watching it, either he or one of his guests will say something that gets me jumping up out of my chair, either wanting to kill someone or to give them a big high five. This week he had a particularly good panel because I especially like it whenever Dan Savage is on the show. But Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban left me scratching my head and wondering how someone that, kind of stupid could ever make it as a billionaire. But for me, the most interesting part of the show was when Marc Maron, a comic and podcaster who used to be on Air America, started to go off on the extreme left and how lacking they are for a sense of humor. And when Bill Maher joined in and complained that the worst crowds he ever has to perform in front of are at liberal charity functions where everything has to pass the politically correct litmus test, well, I wanted to kiss my TV set because what they were talking about was exactly what I have experienced doing political satire on the internet. I mean, most people, they get the jokes. Conservatives will argue with you and say you're stupid or unfair, and the average liberal, they'll give you a thumbs up. But the dumbest comments I ever get are from people who are so far on the extreme left that they've completely lost touch with reality and humanity. And if you've never read it, I highly recommend that you check out Kurt Vonneget's short story, Harrison Bergeron. It takes place in a future America where everyone has been mandated by amendments to the Constitution to be equal to everyone else in every way. No one is smarter or prettier or more talented than anyone else, and if you try to be more than just average, the government will take whatever measures are necessary to make you normal. Or in other words, in that world, Sarah Palin would make the perfect politician after she put on a few pounds and started buying her clothes at Walmart. And speaking of the former governor, I once made the apparent mistake of doing a video about her called Alaska's Mightiest MILF and promptly had the video pulled down from Democratic Underground, a very popular online Democratic forum, which I really like, because someone there took exception to the acronym MILF. And as I pointed out at the time, the current comedic goddess of the left, Tina Fey, had just done an entire episode of her show, 30 Rock, centered around a fake show called MILF Island on NBC in prime time. So why couldn't I use the same term? Because it upset the sensibilities of one or more members of the Democratic underground community. Which means, I guess, that they'll pull this video down too.